Hello guys. In this particular session, we are going to discuss about Mahatma Phule or Mahatma Jotiba Phule. So let's start discussing about this great person. I hope I'm clearly audible and you guys can see the screen. We are going to discuss about Mahatma Jotiba Phule. Okay. So what was the brief time span in which he existed? So it was 1827 to 1896. Okay, 1827 to 1896. You can say roughly 63 years. A brief lifespan of 63 years. He was gifted with a brief lifespan of 63 years. Okay, now you can say he was the promoter of social reformation movements in Maharashtra. He was a great thinker and he always preferred to think in the favor of common people, generally in the context of untouchables. He, in his whole lifespan, he fought for the rights of the poor and untouchables, and due to this all things he got a title of becoming a great human. Okay, so let's discuss the story of this particular great human. Okay, so talking about Phule, you can see he was born on 11th of April 1827 at Pune itself. Okay, 11th of April 1827 at Pune itself. Okay, so what happened was his grandfather, okay, his grandfather was engaged in the business of flowers, or his grandfather was engaged in the business of floral things, and that's why he has earned a title of Phule, or florist. But what was his initial surname? His initial surname was Gore. Okay, what was the initial surname? His initial surname was Gore. So what happened was, due to this particular thing, the business is going well. So Phule got an admission in a missionary school, and from here itself the thoughts of Phule were taking a different turn than that of the conservative society. Okay, so what he has done, he was very interested in education. Okay, or he was very interested in proliferating the tool called as education. Okay, so he worked for spread of education to poor, you can say, and to be specific, he worked for women's. Okay, women education and women upliftment. Okay, in this particular context, what he has done, so he has established the first ever school for girls. What he has done, he has established the first ever school for girls in 1848. Okay, in Videwada, we will be discussing about this in upcoming sessions. Then, this was called as foundation stone for women education. Okay, this was called as foundation stone for women education. The first school was invented. Okay, after following this particular move, okay, what he did next, he came up with the first school for backward classes. Okay, he came up with the first school for backward classes in the year 1852. Okay, and then he started to do such social reform movements now and then continuously. Okay, so what about the next step which he has taken as a human or a generous human? Okay, he started to do or started to support widow remarriages. Okay, and he himself attended, or he himself put forward a widow remarriage, you can say roughly in the year 1864, where at Pune पहला widow remarriage इसने खुद करवाया था. Okay, not first in Maharashtra, but in his life story, the first ever widow remarriage he has carried, or the widow marriage was done in his presence in 1864, where at Pune. Okay, then this gave momentum, or this, you can say, this gave a huge pace to social transformation. Okay, he did not stop over here. He then started to accelerate this particular social transformation by establishing Bal Hatya Pratibandhak Gruha. Bal Hatya Pratibandhak Gruha, that is infanticide prevention home. Infanticide prevention home. Okay, started he established this particular thing. Why? Just to protect widows and infants. To protect widow and infants. Okay, so in this particular home, who was the main person who was looking after each and everything? Savitri Bai, his wife, Savitri Bai. She looked at this all children as in these were her self children. Okay, खुद के बच्चों की तरह वो हर किसी का ध्यान रखा करती थी यहाँ पे. Okay, and then what happened? See, wife was a follower of husband. So what happened? She said, or she was in line with the views of Phule that untouchability is a blot on human society. What they said, untouchability is a blot on humanity. And what we should do to we need to improve the conditions of untouchables. And what is the only tool to improve the conditions of untouchable? It is education. Okay, what is the only tool? It is education. He did not stop over here, but this was a time when people did not allow any of the lower class people to come to their home and take water from the taps. So what he has done, he has publicly opened his house tap. Okay, his house tap was publicly open for untouchables, and this increase the rage in the society, or this increase the opposition of full in the society. Okay, so I hope you guys are getting a brief contribution about that. Now we are going to move in details about his contribution, or to be specific about the social changes what he has took up. Okay, so as I have told you, he was very keen on taking up the issues of dalits, untouchables, and women's. He was of the view to uplift all these categories which I have mentioned over here. Okay, dalit, untouchables, and women's. Okay, in order to show homogeneity in himself. Okay, just see, the change should occur from yourself, and just to show that he was the source of change, what he has done, he has adopted a son of a Brahmin widow. What was her name? Kashibai. Okay, Phule and Savitribai, what they have adopted the son of a Brahmin widow whose name was Kashibai. And what is the name of this particular person? Yes, Dr. Yashwantara. Okay, later they made him doctor. See how sober he was, or how straightforward he was with his opinions. Okay, so he was not against the Brahmins. This thing shows that he was not against the Brahmins, but he was against Brahminism. What is Brahminism? It is an ideology where Brahmins proliferate that we are superior to everyone, and everyone is considered subjugated to us, or everyone is below us. Okay, he was against this particular mentality. Okay, now what he was of the opinion on, what he has done. See, at that particular time, what happened was, if there is a widow, okay, if a woman becomes widow, so what barbers did, barbers, in fact, they did not want to do this, but still, what they did, they carried a thing called as tonsure, mundan. Okay, munwa de dete औरतों का सर, widows का सर munwa de dete. Why? So that they should not disturb the house of any other person. Okay, so tonsure of woman. So barbers are also against this. So what he has done, he has raised or you can say he has organized a strike of barbers to protest this particular torture of widows. Okay, to protest against the torture of widows or mundan of widows, what he has done, he has organized a strike of barbers, where obviously at Pune itself. Okay, he was against, you can say his ideology was against caste discrimination. Okay, he was very against caste discrimination. Again, you can say he was against women's slavery, or women are only responsible, sorry, women are only responsible for taking the daily house chores, or only women are responsible for taking the house chores. Males are not at all any having any responsibility in this particular context. He was very against this particular fact. Also, he opposed idol worship. Okay, जो जगतपति तेरा नको कोई मध्यस्थी. This was a line which was proliferated by this particular person. Okay, so he also opposed ideal worship. Okay, and also he opposed Sanskrit text of rituals. What he thought of Sanskrit? is a language which is difficult for common people to understand, and for that particular purpose what he has done, he opposed the Sanskrit text of ritual. As the rituals are in Sanskrit, he denounced Sanskrit, and also he denounced the rituals. This was the thing that he proliferated on his behalf. Okay, and for this particular thing to proliferate, that everyone is equal, everyone should be treated with equal generosity, everyone should be given equal importance, no one is superior to other. Okay, to propagate all such ideas or whatever ideology he had, he has established Satya Shodhak Samaj. What he has done? He has established a Satya Shodhak Samaj on 24th of September 1873. Okay, and the most important thing was all caste people who believe in equality. Okay, all caste people were allowed in this particular thing. Okay, then later to proliferate the ideas or proliferate the condition of the people in front of everyone, he started to write some essays. Okay, started to write some essays. The most famous essays were Brahmanache Kasab. Brahmanache Kasab. Okay, one of the most famous essay which he has written. Apart from this, he has also written Gulamgiri. Okay, he also written an essay called as Gulamgiri. Also, one more thing called as Sat Sar, etc. These were three essays which are very famous about Phule. Sorry. Okay. What he said, it is very important to reform Hinduism. What was he of the opinion? That it is very important to reform Hinduism to get rid of social inequalities. Okay, so reformation in Hindu religion is must to remove social inequality from the society. He was of this particular opinion. Okay, and due to all these efforts, what Britishers have done, they have recognized the efforts of Phule by felicitating him on 16th of November 1852 at a place called as Vishram Bagwada. Okay, at a place called as Vishram Bagwada. Okay, so generally you can say he was the person or he was the pioneer social reformer who has proliferated the ideas of liberty, equality, and fraternity. Okay, these ideas were proliferated initially by this particular person. Okay, he did not restrict his activities only to this domain, but he also put his efforts forward towards helping farmers. Okay, also he has taken steps forward uh, towards emancipation or displaying the problems or the issues which farmers face. Okay, in order to do this particular thing, what he said, he analyzed the condition of farmers and concluded that the trouble the farmers are facing, okay, whatever trouble they are facing, why this trouble is there? Because of what you can say, ignorance, and because of poverty. Why farmers are under trouble? These are the two reasons. First, there's a continuous ignorance of the government, and second one is the poverty. They are poor, that's why they are backward, and this is the second important reason why farmers are in trouble. He was of this particular belief. Okay, so and what he said, if farmers need to get out of this particular vicious cycle, what they should do, they should move towards, or they have only one tool. What is it? Move towards education. Okay, they need to move towards education. This was the only thing that he has done, this particular that he has proliferated for the development. And what he has done to emancipate or to throw light on what is exactly is the painful character of farmers, or what exactly are the pains in farmers life, what he has done, he has written a book. Okay, what is the name of this particular book? The name of this particular book is Shetkarache Asuda. Okay, he has written a book with the title Shetakarache Asudha. Okay, and through this particular thing, what he has mentioned, that due to less education or due to downtrodden education, what happens? Farmers are suffering, or less education is the reason for suffering of farmers. Okay, these all things are mentioned in a great poem which says, Vidya vina mati geli, mati vina niti geli, niti vina gati geli, and gati vina वित्त गेले, वित्त विना शुद्ध खचले, आणि एवढं सर्व एका फक्त अविद्येमुळे झाले. व्हॉट ही मीन्स की गती विद्ये विना मती गेली, दॅट इज विदाउट व्हॉट यू कॅन से, without knowledge you lost wisdom. Okay, and without wisdom you lost money, speed, without speed you lost money, without money you lost what you can say, movement, without importance, or like whatever you can say. And all due to this all things, what happened? Shudras were subjugated, and all this happened why? Because of deficiency of education. Okay, so all he has mentioned this particular thing as a poem. This poem is also most of the times written in Marathi essays. Okay, in the mains you write an essay, so generally I would not suggest you guys to write this particular poem in your essays, but most of the people, what they do, if the essay is asked on education, they would go for this particular lines. Okay, but don't remember this. Okay, this would make you common people. Okay, and don't go for that particular, you will not get much marks for that. Okay, then what is suggested? In order to proliferate education, okay, in order to proliferate ये तो करना ही है, education to proliferate करना ही है, but इसका flow अच्छे से हो, for that particular thing what you should do, you should also have hostel facilities, you should also have irrigation facilities, you should also have dams and lake facilities, wells facility, etc. as a remedy. Okay, or if you want to boost the development of education, you should also focus on these particular things. Okay, then finally you can say, uh, in 1888, okay, there was a big program organized for Queen Victoria's accession to throne. Okay, so Phule visited to this particular program or this particular tradition over there, and he went in the attire of a farmer, taking an attire of a farmer, being a representative of farmer, to show government that they are ignoring farmers. Okay, just to put a light on the condition of farmers, what he has done, he has taken an attire of farmer and attended this particular session or attended this particular festival. Okay, also here what he has demanded, or not here you can say, when Hunter Commission in 1882, what happened? There was a commission called as W Hunter Commission. Okay, what he said to this particular Hunter Commission, he has put forward the state of education, or what are the demands for the education for the society. So he said that there should be education for all citizens. Okay, and also second thing what he has said, there should be free and compulsory primary and secondary education. Okay, there should be free and compulsory primary and secondary education. Okay, and due to all these things he has earned the title of Mahatma. Okay, and we call him Mahatma Phule. Okay, he earned this particular title. Okay, and finally, concluding all this social work, he died in on 28th of November 1890. Okay, he has taken his last breath over here. And then after this death, what happened to Satyashodak Samaj? Okay, the work of Satyashodak Samaj, or the work of social upliftment, or whatever things Phule was doing. Okay, these activities were carried forward by wife, okay, Savitribai. Or in simple terms, we can say Savitribai Phule carried the work of Phule, whatever he was doing in the future norms. Okay, so this was a story of one of the most influential person who has ever given a great impact on the life of just a minute, on the life of lower class people or untouchables. Okay, so generally you can say in the initial years, okay, or you can say in the era where PSI, ST and ASO were used to be taken separately, there either in one of the exams, either in PSI or in ST or in ASO, there was a possibility that one question would be asked on Phule. You can see we have seen too much data over here. Okay, it was a possibility that definitely one question was asked on Phule, but as of now, you can say the trend is no longer existing. Means what? Our exam is not preferring to ask questions on Phule. In spite of this, they are going in much detail. But since we as a part of Maharashtrian history as a part of 11th state book, we are completing this particular topic. Though this helps you to eliminate the different options. Okay, so I hope the concept is clear. You guys have got each and everything about the Phule. This session was a bit lengthy because there was too much of information which was put forward in front of you. Just a minute. Yes. So that's it. We'll end the session. I hope you have enjoyed this particular session. Okay. So let's continue the next session about his wife, that is Savitri Bai Phule. In the next session, we'll be discussing about Savitri Bai Phule. I hope you guys have enjoyed the session. Thank you for being attentive. Chalo. Have a good day.